Well, the choreography is being rehearsed and the costumes are already being designed as part of next year's World Pride event in Sydney. The two-week celebration is the biggest LGBTQI festival in the world, and it's expected to attract 500,000 people internationally. Well, one performer who is gearing up to take to the stage, like so many others, is Sydney's sexy Galexy. And while you may have heard of a drag queen, sexy Galexy is a drag king and still embodies all the glitz and glamour you'd expect from any top-notch drag show. Sexy Galexy, welcome. Look at this fabulous attire. How long did this take to get ready?
Oh, I just whipped it on tonight.
Of course you did. Of course you did. Hey, just explain to us, what's the difference between a drag king and a drag queen? Because we always hear about drag queens and we hear about these shows that are being done. What's the main difference between the two?
Gender, really. So a drag king was being primarily a woman dressing as a male role, and a queen is a man being a female role. But now in these days of gender diversity, you're finding that women are drag queens and men are drag kings, and so it's, king is the masculine role and the queen is the female.
And how did you get into doing this?
When you find your passion, that moment that you see something and you think, that's me. That's what I saw when I first saw drag queens. I just had this amazing feeling and was addicted from the beginning, really. And I thought that's what I need to do.
So we always hear about drag queens, we see about it in corporate events, we see about it in shows, but not a lot about drag kings. Why do you think that is?
We live in that misogynistic world. I mean, and it's been like that for a very long time, and through that's changing as generations change. So we're seeing that, in all workplaces we're finding more equality, and it's the same with the LGBTIQ plus community, and that's also changing as well. So it's slowly happening. People it's a go-to now. People think, drag queens, but it's about us making ourselves more accessible to those opportunities as well now, and those professional opportunities and corporate jobs to get us that visibility as well.
So you'll be involved in World Pride in more of a performance capacity. What does this kind of recognition mean for you? Because obviously this is an international event. It's
being able to introduce myself to an international crowd, and that mix of crowd who might not have seen my sort of drag kinging before. Because there are glamour boys around the world, but I don't know how many glamour boys there are. And I'm very proud Australian drag king, and I think in Australia we do glamour very, very well.
And we saw some of your performances previously in the vision there. What do you really do in a performance? What is a crowd going to see when they come to see you perform?
A very gay man mincing around on the stage. I'm exactly like a drag queen. So my drag has been based on the love of the drag queens. So this king is very camp, very gay, very metrosexual. So, Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, but I'm the prince of it all,
It's a good comparison. Hey, what are people's attitudes when they see your performance? I mean, I imagine that you perform to specific audiences who come to see you, and then you also perhaps do some performances maybe in a corporate setting where people aren't quite sure what they're going to get.
Nowadays, people absolutely love it because they're seeing a twist on the drag queens that they're used to seeing, and so they see this twist on it and they're loving it. So all the reactions I get are very, very, very positive. I mean, back in the day when drag was mostly in the gay clubs, you would get sort of quite weird reactions because people didn't quite know what was going on. There was a bit of homophobia, but now, that's just, a lot of that is completely gone, and you're just seeing this amazing variety in the audience, and people are loving it.
When we've had this COVID pandemic on, and especially lockdowns, everything sort of came to a halt. What did you do during lockdown? Was there any kind of performance or things that you were thinking about once you finally broke free?
Well, I was in Melbourne, so we spent a lot of time at home. I did heaps of online performances. So the kings from around the world that I knew from years of doing drag. So in America, London, a few different cities in America, and we did online shows, and I got asked to do quite a few things. So that occupied me because I'm a stickler for detail. So I would set up my studio in the garage and create, and so that occupied a lot of time. I loved it.
Just like all creatives, I suppose. Thank
Yeah.
you, Galexy. We wish you all the well in your pride endeavours. Well, that's ABC News for now. I'm Lara Himes. Stay with us. The Virus with Jeremy Fernandez is coming up next.